While I was working abroad, my parents gave me an ultimatum. Pay off my brother's $160 debt or they'd get rid of my son. I thought they meant it figuratively, until they literally left him outside a police station with a note, unwanted. Father lives abroad. Then they erased every trace of me from the house. I didn't even call. I just smiled and started building a brutal plan. Yesterday, it was set in motion. Now they're crying. What did you do? You're destroying the family. Hey everyone, before we dive in, I have a quick favor to ask. If you enjoy content like this, please hit the subscribe button. It's free, supports the channel, and ensures you never miss out on amazing videos. Alright, let's get started. I legit thought I misheard her. I ask if he's okay. She says yes, but she needs to ask me some questions. She reads the note to me. It literally says, unwanted. Father lives abroad. Just those words, nothing else. I don't even know what to say. I keep asking, where are my parents? Where's my son? What happened? She says Faith is fine. Someone dropped him off and left. He's being looked after for now, but you need to come get him or arrange for someone. I just go blank. I try calling my parents. Nothing. Blocked. I even call on a different number. Goes straight to voicemail. I try messaging Curtis. He sends back one line, it's done. Don't bother coming home. I'm not the type to panic, but I'm pissed. I call a friend who lives nearby. Ask him to swing by my parents' place just to see what's up. He goes over and tells me it's like I never existed. Photos of me and Faith, gone. His toys, his clothes, even my old high school trophies, all gone. The house is spotless, like they had a cleaning crew come in. Friend says he saw Curtis in the driveway, tried to say hi. Curtis just slammed the car door and left. I don't even know how to process it. I end up just sitting there, staring at my phone, thinking this has to be a joke or a setup or something. I check my socials, blocked everywhere by my parents and Curtis. My aunt texts me like, what's going on? Your mom is saying the most insane stuff about you, but she won't say what. The worst part is I can't even get mad at Faith's school or teachers because they had no idea what was happening either. He was just there one day, then gone the next. I guess my mom called in sick for him and then just never brought him back. I keep thinking, how do you get to this point where your own family just cuts you out that hard, and for what? For money that I don't even have. I end up arranging for Faith to be picked up by a family friend, someone I actually trust. I get on a call with him. He's okay. Confused, but okay. Honestly, he's tougher than me. The social worker is chill, says I need to call her back ASAP to sort out paperwork. I'm just numb. By this point, I try one more time, just to see if my parents will even reply. Nothing, no explanation, no apology, not even a fight. Curtis just posts some vague meme about fake family and real ones step up like I'm supposed to feel guilty or something. My mom blocks my number. My dad leaves a voicemail that's literally just 4 seconds of silence. So I just sit there for a minute, and then, I don't even know why, I just start laughing. Like all this time I thought if I did what they wanted, they'd finally see me as part of the family, not just the backup plan. Now it's super clear that was never going to happen. They only ever wanted me around when they needed something fixed. So I texted my friend, told him to keep Faith for a bit, and then I just started making a list of everything I could do to make sure my parents and Curtis actually feel what they just did. Not just a little inconvenience, but the kind of pressure that makes them wish they'd never tried to play me like that. Honestly, I'm not even mad at this point. I'm just done. Like I see it now. They made their choice. I'm about to make mine. And I promise you, they're not going to like it. Part 2 is coming if anyone wants it, because this is just the setup. I haven't even started yet. Update 1. So yeah, I barely slept after that last post, NGL. Just sat there doom scrolling, thinking about what I could actually do that would hit them where it hurts. I guess I always sort of knew my parents were transactional. Like everything was about what have you done for us lately, even when I was a kid. But dumping my son? Like that's not just crossing a line. That's burning the bridge and then blaming me for the fire. Anyway, I had a few days before I could fly back. Had to sort out Faith's situation first. He's good, staying with my friend Becky for now. She's a real one, doesn't ask for details, just says tell me what you need. Becky's got her own family, so Faith's basically getting spoiled with snacks and cartoons. I check in every day. He tells me he misses his dinosaur stickers and his Nintendo, but otherwise he's chill. Which is more than I can say for myself. So I start digging, not like Sherlock Holmes, just pulling up old docs and emails. Here's something wild. My parents put my name on a bunch of their stuff years ago for emergencies. Classic Kathy and Ronnie move. Always planning for the worst, but only if it benefits them. I'm not talking about a will or anything, but stuff like the house, utilities, some savings accounts, car insurance. I never even thought about it. They just handed me a folder one year and said, sign these, it's just in case something happens. I was like 20 and didn't question it for. Now I'm looking at these papers thinking, okay, this is leverage. I'm not going to do anything illegal, but I also don't have to keep paying for people who treat me like trash. I start with the utilities, call up the electric and water companies, tell them I'm moving my name off the accounts. They say they need the other account holders to sign off. I just say, then shut it down when the next bill hits. Same for the Wi-Fi and the streaming accounts, which tabahah was mostly in my name anyway, because my dad thinks everything online is a scam and never learned how to set up a password that isn't sunshine123. Next up, the family group chat. I don't go off. I just post a simple message, don't send money to mom and dad for Faith. He's not living there. A couple cousins start asking what happened, but I ignore it for now. I want the questions to start. I want the confusion to hit the rest of the family. Kathy tries to kick me out of the chat but can't figure out how, so she just leaves it. So I land back in the States, barely got any sleep, and the first thing I do is swing by my old house when I know no one's home. Curtis posts his location on Snapchat like a dumbass, so I know he's at the gym. And my parents are at bingo night. I walk up and yeah, it's weird. My key still works, which is just lazy on their part. But the house feels fake now. Like everything that said Lorenzo or Faith is just gone. Not in the garage, not in storage, just gone. I check the trash bins and see a couple of Faith's old drawings, some broken toys, like they just chucked it all out. I take pics, not because I need proof, just to remind myself this isn't a nightmare I made up. At some point I hear a car pull up. It's Curtis, back earlier than I thought. He gets out, sees me, and just stands there, arms crossed like he's waiting for me to start something. I ask where Faith's stuff is. He shrugs, says he doesn't know, says ask Mom. I ask if he's proud of himself. He rolls his eyes, says, I should have just paid the debt and none of this would have happened. I walk past him and he tries to shoulder check me, so I shove him off. He looks surprised but doesn't push it. I tell him to move his car and he slams the door, cranks the music, just being loud for no reason. I leave, not because I'm scared, because I've got bigger things. First I hit up my aunt. She's the only one in the family who ever seemed to care what actually happened. I tell her the basics, not the whole police station thing because I don't trust her not to freak out, but enough that she gets the idea. She's shocked but also low-key says, well, your mom's been acting weird for months. Maybe it's menopause. I don't even know what to say to that, so I just say, I'm not covering for them anymore. She says she'll see what she can do, which is aunt speak for calling everyone she knows and gossiping, which is fine by me. So next move, the money. I go through my bank statements and start flagging every time I sent money to my parents. For Faith, groceries, school stuff, all that. I text my family's old accountant. He's a second cousin. We're not tight, but he's always been neutral. I tell him to stop sending anything to my parents that has my name on it, to freeze any joint stuff, and to send me a summary of the past year. He says okay, but also asks if everything's okay, because my mom said I was having a breakdown. I just say no. I'm just done paying for people who don't respect me. He doesn't argue, just says he'll do it over the next few days. The fallout starts. My parents call my aunt, my uncle, even my ex. Don't ask, trying to get someone to talk me down. Curtis tries to DM me, says I'm being dramatic, says I'm ruining the family's reputation. I just leave him on read. My uncle sends me a text like, come to dinner, let's talk this out. But I know it's just going to be them trying to guilt trip me again. I skip it. I start showing up at places I know Curtis hangs out, gym, the cheap pizza spot, even his favorite bar. I don't say anything, just sit there, scroll my phone, let him sweat. One time he tells the bartender I'm stalking him. Bartender laughs and says, dude, he's just eating fries. I see him get more and more twitchy every time, like he's waiting for me to go off. I want him nervous. I want him to know I'm not just some voice on the phone. Meanwhile, I start pulling out of every group thing my parents ever roped me into. Family barbecues, group gifts, all of it. Next time my mom tries to start a group FaceTime, I just decline and text the whole family. I'm not talking to people who throw away their grandkid. No one replies. So yeah, people start noticing. My cousin texts me like, hey man, your dad's been calling me nonstop asking for help with the mortgage. Is something going on? I tell him, if you want to help, go ahead. But I'm out. He says, nah, I got my own bills. And I just say, welcome to the club. I hear from another friend that my dad tried to get a loan from his old poker buddy and got laughed out of the bar. My mom tries posting some inspirational quotes on Facebook about children who turn their backs on family, and my aunt claps back in the comments. I almost screenshot it, but decide to just let them eat each other alive. Curtis finally snaps one night. Shows up at Becky's. He knows the address, small town problems, starts banging on the door, yelling that I need to face him. Becky's husband answers, tells him to leave. Curtis tries to push past him, gets shoved back, and almost falls off the porch. I get a text from Becky like, your brother's losing it, maybe handle your business. I call Curtis and tell him if he ever shows up there again, I'll post the pics of his side hustle on his Insta. He hangs up. The funniest part? My parents still don't call me directly. They just send these group messages about how could you do this to your own blood, and family means everything. And what would your grandmother think? I ignore every single one. I start blocking numbers. I get a letter in the mail with my mom's handwriting. Don't even open it. Just toss it in the trash. And through all this, I'm not even mad anymore. Just focused. I want them to feel every single consequence of what they did. Not just for a week or a month, but long enough that they remember it every time they check their bank balance or go to the store and can't pay for something. So yeah, this is the setup. I've got more pieces to move, and I'm just getting started. If anyone's still following this, I'll update when the real pressure starts. Trust me, they are not ready for what comes. Update 2. So I thought I'd be over the whole what the actual hell part by now, but honestly, every day there's some new flavor of petty or desperate coming from my parents' house. You ever notice how some people don't even try to hide their mess once the cracks start showing? Like I drove by the old place last week, and the grass is already up to my knees, paint flaking, mailbox duct taped. My dad's out front on the phone, pacing like he's trying to argue with the entire world at once. I just kept driving. Not my circus anymore. Anyway, after I started pulling my name from everything and cutting the money off, it's like the whole family network went into panic mode. I'm getting texts at all hours, my mom, my uncle, even a random cousin I haven't talked to since high school. Some of them are acting concerned. Most are just trying to figure out where the cash pipeline went. I get one from my mom that just says, "You're destroying the family." Like, girl, you literally left my kid on a curb, but sure, I'm the problem. Curtis tries to get in my face again at the grocery. I'm lining up for eggs and he walks up acting tough, says I'm making everything worse, that I'm embarrassing them. I just shrug, tell him to buy his own food for once. He shoves my cart, I shove him back. He stares at me like he's expecting me to swing, but I just give him that look and he walks out. Guy behind me in line just shakes his head and mutters, "Families, man, the funniest part." My dad actually called my ex like 3 times to warn her about my behavior. She texts me like, "Your dad's losing it. I don't care what you did, I'm not getting involved." I tell her, "Don't worry, I'll never put you in that spot. Just block his number if you want." She says, "Already did." So it's not just about money now, it's about control, and they know they're losing it. The family group chat is dead silent, except for my aunt posting cat gifs. My mom keeps sending all caps messages like, "We are still your parents, you owe us respect." I just mute the chat. I'm not even angry at this point, just petty. I start selling off anything with my name on it, even if it's a loss. Old car title, gone. Joint account for family emergencies, wiped. Dad's extra phone line, canceled. Every time I get a call from an unknown number, I just block it. Now the bills start piling up on them. I hear through the grapevine that the electric was cut for a day before they figured out how to pay it. The mortgage company called my dad at work. My mom's crying to my aunt about how she never expected her own son to betray her. My aunt's over it. Just tells her to figure it out herself. I think that's the first time I've ever heard my mom get told no. Curtis starts calling around, trying to get people to loan him money, posts on Facebook about some people's true colors and fake family. Nobody bites. I see him at the gym, headphones in, pretending I'm not there, but he keeps glancing over. I just sit on the bench, scrolling my phone, waiting for him to look up. He finally does, and I just smile, wave, go back to my reps. He leaves early. At some point I get a letter from my mom. Not an email, a letter, which is weird for her. It's like 3 pages of guilt tripping, talking about how hard it was to raise me, how much they sacrificed, how I'm letting Curtis drown and my dad age before his time. Says if I don't help, they'll have to make hard choices. I don't even finish reading it. I just throw it in the junk drawer with expired coupons and takeout menus. Meanwhile, Faith is thriving with Becky's family. I see him every day now. We draw, play Mario Kart, eat too many cookies. He asks sometimes about grandma and grandpa, but not in a sad way, just like he's noticing they're not around. I say they're busy. He shrugs and asks if he can have another juice box. Honestly, I wish I was as chill as him. One day, Becky tells me Curtis came around again, tried to start something with her husband in the driveway. This time her husband slammed the door in his face, literally. Curtis yells through the door, says I'm ruining everything, says he's going to make it right. Becky laughs, tells him to grow up, then calls me. I just say, thanks for the heads up. So now my parents are low-key shunned in their own neighborhood. People talk. It's a small town. Everyone knows something went down. My mom used to host these backyard dinners every month. Now nobody shows up. My dad's pretending like nothing's wrong, but I see him at the gas station trying to haggle with the cashier over lottery tickets. Curtis is couch surfing. Heard from a friend he tried to crash at their place and got told to get a job first. Lol. I stopped getting the daily guilt texts. Now it's just the occasional, "When are you coming home?" or "We miss you." No mention of Faith, no apology, no explanation. They still think I'm going to crack first. Never going to happen. The only one who's actually real with me is my cousin Michelle. She shows up at my place one night with pizza, just sits down and says, "So you really cut them off?" I tell her, "Yeah, for good." She nods, says, "Took you long enough." Then she tells me my mom's been calling her nonstop, begging for help with bills, crying about how I turned the whole family against her. Michelle just says, "Maybe don't throw your grandkid out like garbage next time." So I push it further. I find out my parents have been getting little side gifts from the extended family for years. Birthdays, holidays, even just because. I start calling around, telling everyone what actually happened. Not even in a dramatic way, just facts. Most of them are shocked. Some don't believe me at first, but a couple remember seeing my mom act weird lately. After that, the gifts dry up. One uncle actually calls my dad and yells at him for shaming the family. I wish I could have seen that. Curtis tries to guilt trip me one last time, shows up at my place with some sob story about how he's trying to fix things but needs a little help. I tell him to leave. He gets pissed, tries to slap the pizza box out of my hand. I shove him back, tell him to get lost. He stands there for a second like he's waiting for me to go easy. I just stare at him. He finally leaves, slamming the door hard enough the frame rattles. Now it's just me, Faith, and the quiet. I'm not lonely, just done. Every move I make, every dollar I pull, it's like they realize I'm not playing anymore. The last thing my mom sent was a text. "You're destroying the family." I just laughed. Next up, I've got one last play, something they're not going to see coming. But honestly, I'm almost looking forward to it. I want them to feel it every time they sit down for dinner and realize it's just the 3 of them. No one calling, no one visiting, nothing but the echo of their own choices. I'll post again after it's done. If you're following this, you'll want to see how it ends. Final update. So first off, appreciate everyone who stuck with this. NGL, I wasn't even planning on updating again, but people keep DMing me like, bro, did you nuke them or what? So yeah, here's what happened. After I really went for it, weirdest thing. Right off the bat, my mom starts dropping hints in the most boomer way possible. Like she comments on an old Facebook post of mine from like 4 years ago. Just a single line, family always comes first. Then she tags me in 3 emojis. Subtle, right? Then my dad texts me for the first time in weeks. No hi, no how are you? Just a paragraph about how the family's reputation is at risk and you have to fix what you broke. I don't even answer. I just screenshot it and send it to Michelle with the caption, LMAO. So this is where the real pressure lands. I pulled the last thread. Remember, I was still technically on some old paperwork for the house, a couple savings accounts, and the car insurance. I already took my name off everything I could solo, but there was one last thing. An old savings account my grandma set up for emergencies only. My parents always acted like it was their money, but it was in my name too. I went to the bank, asked for a full withdrawal, split my half and left the rest untouched. I didn't even warn them. Didn't say a word. I know my mom checks that account every week just to make sure she has backup for whatever mess Curtis gets into next. After that, I called the mortgage company and told them, I'm out. Not responsible for any more payments. Not signing squat. The woman on the phone was super chill, said they'd update the paperwork. I get a call from my dad about 2 days later, just yelling into the phone about how I'm ruining their life. How could I do this? I hang up. He calls back. I hang up again. He sends like 5 voicemails, none of them saying sorry. Just mad he's losing control. Meanwhile, Curtis is living in his car. Heard it from a buddy who works at the 7-Eleven. He's been asking around for a couch to crash on, but everyone knows what happened now. He tried to guilt my uncle into letting him stay, got told to get a job first. He tried to show up at Faith's school, but the principal called me and said some relative was asking questions and seemed off. I told her not to let him near Faith again. She agreed. Curtis called me after, tried to say I was turning everyone against him. I just told him, maybe next time don't let mom and dad throw my kid away like a piece of trash. My parents, meanwhile, start getting weird about holiday. Like my mom tries to organize Thanksgiving and nobody shows up but 2 cousins, and one of them leaves early. My dad acts like nothing's wrong, just sits at the head of the table, scrolling on his phone, ignoring everyone. I hear from Michelle that my mom called her crying after, says she doesn't understand how we all turned so cruel. Michelle told her, you did this to yourself. She hung up. Social fallout hit them hard. Neighbors stopped waving. Old friends stopped coming by. Heard my mom got into it with a lady across the street about fake people. My dad slammed the door when a church friend came to drop off food. Curtis got into a shouting match with someone at the gas station, apparently over $40. He pushed the guy and got pushed back. Almost fell into the windshield wiper bucket. Even the extended family is divided. Some aunts take my side. Some say I should be the bigger man and fix it. I just say not my problem. I block anyone who tries to guilt me. Don't care if it's blood or not. I see people at the store and they don't know what to say to me. I just nod and keep moving. Faith's good, by the way. He starts first grade next week. Already lost 2 teeth. Obsessed with his new bike. He asks about grandma sometimes, but not in a sad way. Just like he noticed she disappeared. I don't lie. I just say sometimes people make bad choices. He nods, says okay, goes back to his cartoon. I run into Curtis one last time at the pharmacy. He's scrounging for change at the counter. Looks rough. He sees me, walks up, tries to get close. Says I need to fix this. I tell him, you made your bed. He tries to shove me. I shove him back, harder. The cashier yells at us to take it outside. Curtis just shakes his head, leaves with nothing. My parents send me one last group text. Something about forgiveness, family, how we'll regret this when they're gone. I don't reply. I leave the chat for good this time. I know they're talking trash about me to anyone who will listen, but honestly I don't care. I see now they never wanted a son, just a backup plan. They're mad I finally acted like a real person and not their safety net. So yeah, that's it. No big Hollywood ending, no healing arc, just real life. I got my son, I got my peace, and they got exactly what they earned. Every time they check their bank account or sit in their empty house, they'll know exactly why. And if they ever try anything again, I'll just remind them of the one rule they taught me. Family means nothing if you don't act like it. Thanks for reading. I don't need advice or sympathy, just wanted proof for myself that I actually did this. I'm not sorry, I'd do it again, 10 times over.